I want to start this by saying that this video is not meant to be a moral lecture, and it's not me trying to tell anyone how they should live their life or what they are allowed to do with their own body. This is more about the culture around fitness right now in 2026 and how it has shifted in a direction that I don't think most people fully understand, especially if they're younger or newer to lifting, which most people are, and people are getting younger and younger, are getting into lifting younger and younger. So I'm telling you, fitness used to be different. And it's become the victim of shifting baseline syndrome, or you can call it generational amnesia. It describes exactly that process where conditions slowly change over time, but because each new generation only experiences the new version as normal, the erosion goes largely unnoticed. And over time, somehow, we just kind of lost our inhibitions regarding gear, and it feels like we're on the way to gear and lifting being synonymous at this point. And it will be the norm if things keep going like that. It's already so normalized at this point that if you're watching just any content related to fitness, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, whatever, you're exposed to roided up physiques and freaking 17-year-olds weighing 225, benching 3, 4 plates. I'm not joking, you can look it up. And watching that while, maybe you have been training longer, you're a normal natty, right? You've also put in the work, but have like a fraction to show for it. And that can feel horrible. I totally get that. And I felt the same way at certain point in my life. I've been lifting for a while. I'm getting into that soon. But this emotional response is the very reason why the normalization of roids is so dangerous. Because most people watching this stuff are not informed. They're not thinking about long-term health consequences, right? Partially because they're so young, and they're not thinking about what it actually costs to maintain a body like that over time and the toll that it's gonna take, right? And I'm not saying, like how would they think of it in the first place, right? I'm not blaming young audiences. I'm blaming us and the culture itself, because we are not talking about the effects, and we just keep normalizing that stuff, right? And these people, they just see the result and their brain is like, yes, give me that. Because the average viewer, doesn't sit there thinking about all the side effects, cardiovascular side effects, organ growth, right? What chronic hormone manipulation actually does to your body. And I can list gear side effects all day. Literally, it's insane, bro. You don't even know. Like, there's sleep apnea, infertility, cancer risk through the roof, or the fact that, your heart doesn't really care how static your physique is. It's just gonna give out on you, sometimes at 30. And a little secret for you at this point, if you're not at the very, very, very top of the fitness mountain, nobody except you gives a single fuck about your physique anyway. Yeah, you might get some stares and stuff, but like, do you really want to get addicted to drugs and risk everything, your mental health, relationships, etc., etc., etc.? Like, this will consume your life, but not in a good way. And I know that if you're watching this and you're already in gear or you're seriously considering it, especially if you're young, it's probably sound like I'm just being, overly cautious or scared, or like I don't want it badly enough. So I want to be very clear about where I'm coming from. I've been lifting for 10 years in a gym now. I started going to gym when I was 20 and I'm 30 now. I'll be 30. Wow. I'm being a week away from being old. But anyway, but even before that, I was training at home around 16-ish. I was around before social media fitness turned into what it is today. And I watched a lot of people rise very quickly, build massive followings, push their bodies extremely far, and then just disappear once the consequences started catching up to them. And even this is like the best case scenario, because you could argue that these people at least, they got their attention, they got their following, they got their gains. But most gear users, you will never hear of them, right? They just destroy their health within a decade, if that, and then deal with the fallout for the rest of their shortened lives. And it's not only the physical side, of course, because you'd think someone who is experiencing all of this will just, well, stop the gear. But as soon as you start it, it's like you started a hard drug, basically. So aside from the physiological effects, and by the way, that's why people have such a hard time quitting, of course. But like, think about what it will do to your head and the way that you see yourself. If you aren't happy with your body now, while already probably looking better than 99% of the population, right? If you've been really training, and if you're unhappy with your natty potential, I know it sucks, right? It sucks having bad genetics. I totally understand, because there isn't much you can do about it other than training and eating and sleeping and all of that stuff, right? Or you could go to the dark side. But do you really think that taking gear will make you feel happy about your body if you weren't happy about it before? Like, you're just raising the bar with the roids. And I guarantee you, at some point, you will come off the roids, right? Sooner than you think, sooner than you hope, and no matter when that day comes, it's going to be absolutely the worst, because you never solved the underlying problem. You never worked on the relationship with yourself and your body, and you never learned how to get self-worth from anywhere else other than, your physical experience. Your physical appearance. That's what I was trying to say. You think you're going to be the exception, right? You think you're going to manage your side effects and stuff. But I've heard that a lot from people who are on gear, and they're like, yes, as long as you're like managing your side effects and you do your blood work and stuff, you're gonna be completely fine. But what does it even mean? Like, it's like saying you will be completely fine smoking a pack a day as long as you manage the side effects? Like, genuinely explain to me how. With a blood test? Okay. So when the blood test shows high blood pressure, what are you gonna do? Take more drugs. Okay, got it. Like, at what point are you no longer just training and enhancing? You're just actively propping up a system that's under constant strain and pretending that monitoring the damage, right, looking at the damage and throwing more exogenous and unnatural substances into your body will somehow make the damage less real, right? And all of this is happening while younger and younger people are being exposed to your body and your content as inspirational, without any real understanding and any real transparency on your side of what they're signing up for, and how the people they are looking up to are hiding a long list of issues and complications. So, am I saying that you will keel over and die from trying SARMs once, or doing a little test cycle? No, I'm not. But how are you so sure you will quit after that first cycle?